Hey everybody, welcome back. Just wanted to show you some shells that I picked up at the beach the other day. I was up island here on Vancouver Island and I found lots of really neat shells. I'll start off with a couple different kinds of clam shells. Forgive me, I don't know the names of them. Never been into the scientific names, but the different shapes. And this one would have had the bottom, and then his foot would have stuck out in this flared part here, and that's how they dig themselves into the ground, into the sand. I don't know where it's got a few barnacles on it. So there's these two. Then I will show you the same kind, but smaller. This is the same kind as this, but quite a bit smaller. And this is the same kind as this one. And this is some more of this large one. So I got a few of those little tiny ones. They're really kind of cute. But then I've also got this little baby one too. That little tiny one. And there's a few. Here's the whole clam. And here's another one. They're the same as this. Then there's these kind of clams. No idea again what kind they are. So they're really kind of pretty. I thought, oh I do. I have a little baby one too. Little tiny baby one. And that's, oops, the same as this one. I'm not getting very good at aiming here. That and that are the same. And then of course some more of these kind. Then I got these. Hermit crabs will steal these. These are mudflat snail shells. And there's all different kinds. They're actually kind of pretty. When they're wet, they look... I thought they were limpets, but apparently they're mudflat snail shells. But I also found this little tiny one. I went through the sand with a with a magnifying glass. Also, going through the sand with a magnifying glass, when some of these shells die, like, let's see, oh, I know what I'll show you. We got sand dollars, and these are really pretty. They got these leaves here, looks like a flower, or a pot leaf, whatever you prefer. And this is the hole where they eat out of, and that's where they poop everything out of. And when they're alive, they got little spikes all over them. Kind of like a sea urchin, but quite a bit smaller spikes, and they're completely covered. And they're black or purple. When they die, they go white. So there's this one. And then there's a bit of a smaller one. And then I have an even smaller one yet that I found. This is really cute. It's pretty. It's a little one. There's the back end of it. So you got large, medium, and small. And then we got oyster shells. Here's some barnacles on them. This is an average size oyster for British Columbia, maybe a little bit smaller. There's more oyster shells. This was 2 oyster shells stuck back to back. And this is where the oyster would attach itself to the inside of the shell. And that would have been right here on this one. I don't know if you could see it. And on here, it would have been right here. Oh, yeah. And here's this other kind of clam. These are really pretty. They got rigid edges. And the grooves inside here. This is another kind of clam. They're pretty. And again, don't know what they're called. A lot of people will use these big ones as soap dishes. I know I have. And a really cool thing that I found was a dead sea urchin. This hole here was in it. I'm assuming this is probably why it died. This is the biggest sea urchin I have ever seen. It's 6 inches from edge to edge. It's absolutely huge. I've found many of these in my time, but I've never seen one this big. And I don't know if you can see inside here. This is its mouth, and there's 5 teeth-like structures that are in here. And I don't know where it poops from. I think it poops out of the same hole. So those teeth-like structures would be sticking up in here. When it dies, they fall out. But I'll show you some of the actual teeth. These go up inside. You can see it's pretty pointed. And it's like a 3-part tooth. It's triangular. And it would attach in here like that. There's 5 of them. 5 or 6. But here's the remnants of a bunch of those. I guess it's more like a beak than it is like a tooth. But here's parts of the beak from this actual sea urchin. And then I'll show you these needles. It's kind of hard to see. I need something black. My remote control. There we go. These needles, spines, would be all over the sea urchin, sticking up all over like this. Where each one of these pegs are, I'm assuming is where these things go. But these things, and that's their defense. So anything tries to get it, these would stab into them. And they are fairly sharp, and they're pretty strong when the animal is alive and the creature is still kicking. Here's a little one. I've also got these clam shells. When these are wet, you can polish them up. They're super pretty. The insides are really purple. You can polish these up and they just look gorgeous. They're not quite like abalones. The color in abalone, it sort of looks like gas on water. But these are really pretty too. These are clams. These are clams as well. So we've got quite a few things. Lots of these mudflat snail shells that mostly are crawling around the bottom with a hermit crab in it. And he just comes out and creeps around the bottom. Anyways, hope you enjoyed looking at some seashells from around Vancouver Island. Have a good day. Stay cool.